A new decade is now firmly underway, and it's a good time to look ahead at the incoming wave of albums and singles we can expect in 2020, as well as events like Leeds, Glastonbury, Download and Creamfields, with the summer festival circuit only a few short months away from kicking into gear. But since we are still so close to 2019, now is also the perfect time to look back at the year that was, while celebrating the lives of those musicians who, sadly, will not be able to share in all that impending excitement with the rest of us. It's a difficult thing to do, but it's always important to give a shout out to those influential figures who shaped the music industry, those rising stars who were taken before their time, and those less famous names who nonetheless contributed heavily to the music we've all been enjoying for the last several decades. This list is in no particular order. It's simply our tribute to those incredible musicians who touched so many of our lives and who passed away last year. I'm Will for What Culture, and here are 10 musicians who died in 2019. 10. Tony Mills. Birmingham-born Tony Mills had a long and prosperous career as a rock singer, fronting TNT and supporting some massive names like Meat Loaf, Bon Jovi, Ozzy Osbourne, and Twisted Sister. He also did a lot of work as a backing vocalist and songwriter, a truly versatile and talented musician who was always looking for the next big challenge. In 2010, Mills suffered from a heart attack, from which he made a full recovery. Sadly though, that wouldn't be his last notable brush with a serious health condition. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer in April 2019 and passed away just a few months later on the 18th of September, aged 57. 9. Fredrik Reese. While you probably won't recognise Fredrik Reeste's face, you'll definitely know his work. The French DJ and producer has worked on some of the biggest pop and dance hits ever produced, with tracks like I Got a Feeling, Play Hard, When Love Takes Over, Lovers on the Sun, Club Can't Handle Me, and Love Is Gone to his name. The musician's work undoubtedly helped shape the modern dance scene, and for that, fans of the genre are forever in his debt. Reese was only 58 years old when he died on the 20th of August, after a long and difficult battle with cancer. 8. Scott Walker. While singer Scott Walker had several lengthy stints as a solo act, he's most famous for his role in the Walker Brothers, a pop group that had countless top 10 albums and singles, from the emotionally driven Make It Easy on Yourself to the slightly more upbeat The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. Looking back on that solo career, Walker had one of his songs covered by the great David Bowie, received several awards for his contributions to music, and even briefly dabbled in the feature film industry, recording a song for the Bond film The World Is Not Enough, and producing the soundtrack for the 1999 French drama Polar X. Walker was so passionate about his art that he was even releasing music a year before his death, with the singer falling prey to cancer and passing away on March 22nd, aged 76. 7. James Ingram. From the earliest days of singer James Ingram's career, he was taking some big steps forward. Even before he'd signed his first publishing deal, the man provided backing vocals for the legendary Ray Charles, and with his band, Revelation Funk, he recorded a song that appeared in the 1975 blaxploitation comedy movie Dolomite. That wasn't the end of his involvement in the film space either. Throughout the 90s, Ingram worked on the soundtracks for films like Sarafina, City Slickers, and Beethoven's Second, the first sequel in the classic family movie series. For the latter, he was even nominated for an Academy Award, and performed a duet with Dolly Parton on the night of the ceremony. Later in his life, Ingram appeared on TV shows like Celebrity Duets, and during a 2012 performance, he sang R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly, a cover that also appeared on his 1999 album Forevermore. Ingram died of brain cancer on the 29th of January at 66 years of age. Tragically, he was only a fortnight away from his 67th birthday. 6. Doris Day. While she's known all around the world for her acting work in movies like Calamity Jane and The Man Who Knew Too Much, Doris Day's film career actually ended in the late 60s, whereas she continued to release music all the way up until 2011. The multi-talented performer got her start in the entertainment business as a singer in 1939, and throughout her lifetime, Day recorded hundreds of individual songs and well over 24 albums, some of which even accompanied her movies. Her 29th and final studio album, My Heart, was released in September 2011, and charted at number 9 in the UK. Day was 89 years old at this time, making her one of the oldest artists to produce a top 10 hit. Day died on the 13th of May at the ripe old age of 97, succumbing to pneumonia. 5. Eddie Money. After getting his start singing at clubs in San Francisco, Eddie Money's career skyrocketed throughout the 1970s with the release of his self-titled debut album, which eventually went double platinum. Arguably his most famous single was on that same album as well. Baby Hold On reached number 11 on the Billboard's Hot 100 and was used in video games like Rock Band 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, as well as movies like Joe Dirt 2 Beautiful Loser and TV shows like Hawaii Five-0. After a rocky spell in the early 80s, Money returned with a comeback album Can't Hold Back, which was again certified platinum, and also earned him a Grammy nomination. Later in life, he even got his own reality TV show called Real Money, which followed the day-to-day lives of him and his family. Unfortunately, due to Money's passing, the show never made it to season 2. The singer died on the 13th of September at 70 years of age, after a battle with cancer. 4. Larry Junstrom. Most music lovers will know the name Lynyrd Skynyrd, and they have Larry Junstrom to thank for helping bring that famous band together. The group, which is still active to this day, albeit with a different lineup, was formed in 1964, with Junstrom as its bassist. Even though Junstrom left in 1971, he was instrumental in those early days, and his influence over the band's style and direction cannot be understated. After parting ways with Lynyrd Skynyrd, Junstrom joined rock band 38 Special, which was formed by Donny Van Zant, the younger brother of Skynyrd's frontman. Junstrom stuck with this group for the rest of his career, generating 12 studio albums and releasing over 20 singles. In 2014, Junstrom suffered a hand injury that forced him to retire from the music scene altogether. He passed away on the 6th of October, aged 70. Number 3. Marie Fredriksson. Despite having a solid career in her home country of Sweden throughout the 70s and 80s, Marie Fredriksson truly exploded onto the music scene when she formed the duo Roxette, alongside fellow singer-songwriter Per Gessle. As Roxette, Gessle and Fredriksson achieved an astonishing 19 UK top 40 hits, as well as landing 4 US number 1s with their singles Joyride, The Look, Listen to Your Heart, and It Must Have Been Love, the latter of which appeared on the Pretty Woman movie soundtrack. Indeed, Roxette generated hit song after hit song, and as of 2020, they are the second best-selling music act that Sweden has ever produced, behind only ABBA. In this case, coming in second place really isn't anything to be mad about. In her later years, Fredriksson was forced to stop touring due to health concerns, and she died on the 9th of December, at 61 years of age. 2. Keith Flint. Keith Flint had a truly eclectic and varied career. As well as joining the first lineup of electronic dance group The Prodigy in the early 90s, he also had stints as a roofer, pub landlord, and motorcycle racer during his life. But it was his time with The Prodigy that he'll be remembered for the most. During the 90s, the band won 2 Brit Awards, received a Grammy nomination, won numerous MTV Awards, and created countless chart-dominating albums and singles. The group continued its winning streak throughout the 2000s, with one of their songs, You'll Be Under My Wheels, ending up on the soundtrack for The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Then, Invaders Must Die, their 2009 album, charted at number 1 in the UK, and became one of their fastest-selling albums to date. The band is still focused on producing music to this day, and they have Flint to thank for helping them reach such stratospheric heights. The musician committed suicide on the 4th of March, just 1 year shy of 50 years old. 1. Juice WRLD. The youngest musician we've mentioned so far, Juice WRLD's death is even more tragic when you consider that he was only 21 years of age, passing just days after his latest birthday. Real name Jared Higgins, Juice was a rising star in the rap scene, someone who was pegged as one of the genre's next heavy hitters. At the time of his death, he had released 2 studio albums, one in 2018 and one in 2019, both of which performed incredibly well, with his most recent one landing at the top of the Billboard 200 in March of last year. On the 8th of December 2019, Juice boarded a private jet on its way to Chicago and was said to have consumed several unknown pills while the plane was in the air. When it landed, he began convulsing before being pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. And there you have it, folks, 10 musicians who sadly passed away in 2019. Feel free to leave a comment down below with your own thoughts or favourite songs from any artists on this list or otherwise who passed away and made a big contribution to your life. I'm Will for What Culture, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.